She's enchanted audiences in fan favorite roles such as Rose Tyler on Doctor Who, Looking Girl Belle de Jour, and now thrilling them as Billie on Showtime's Penny Dreadful. Let's get it.
Welcome to the song called Arizona. So, since there are many Doctor Who alums across DC and Marvel, who would you want to be in either DC or Marvel, like a hero or a villain? Do you have any idea who you would want to be?
Having seen it yesterday, just yesterday, I love the sound of Deadpool. My personality, which could be a bit telling actually. There are shades of that. Yeah, but I think if you could play one in that sort of film, that's the guy. I don't see it as a sort of female flex, but it's such a good film. It's so good. I really like those films.
Hi there. My friend is currently working in Disney World. And so she really wanted to be here, and so I promised her I'd tell you hi for her.
Hello, friend. Sorry you're working and not here, but you are working in Disneyland, so. Disney World.
Okay, so my question.
Yeah.
So it's regarding Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Why did the producers of Doctor Who decide to create that romantic relationship between Rose and Doctors 9 and 10?
Well, I think, I don't know if they set out with that as their strong sort of dynamic thing, whether it's something that happened because they saw how well we got on as people, and I don't know, I don't know the exact answer to that, but I think that in the end it became that because I think everyone sort of secretly loves, especially amongst sci-fi, there's something really great about deep romance. And it sort of makes it real and sort of domestic and something we can all relate to in amongst all the madness that is Doctor Who. I think it's a really good choice. I think it's a good Yes, hello.
Since you played Rose, what is your favorite Doctor Who episode?
I think I have a couple actually. Tooth and Claw is one of my favourites because it's just a big old, it's a bit fast. I think it's a bit sort of farcical and a bit loose and heavy comedic, which I really enjoyed. It's a bit of rock. It's all got, I don't know if you guys know, like, Carry On films, they're really comedy British in this. I mean, it's sort of borderline inappropriate now. We watch that, they were like made in the 70s and 60s, and they were just, now when you're watching, they're a bit like, whoa. But it has that sort of energy about it. And then I really like Father's Day as well, because I love people who guys who play with their dad, like, love them, as if they were real. So I really enjoyed working with them, and I thought it was a nice sort of emotional break from all the saving the world and, all that other drama that goes on in the show. Thank you.
First of all, yeah, hi.
Hi.
So my question is, what is your most weirdest or funniest fan experience you've ever had? Not counting this one.
Marriage proposals are always a bit odd. Are you here? Are you here, new husband? Hello? It's not going well. I don't even know who my husband is. I'd say those are pretty obscure. The rest of the stuff is pretty gentle and kind, and those proposals are also that very kind, but I think that always is a bit shocking. I never quite know how to answer those questions except yes. I didn't know. Yeah, anyway, that. Thank you.
Well, if anyone online is considering a marriage proposal, I would suggest you refrain, seeing as she's already taken.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. What? Come on, darling, sexy darling. Okay.
My question for you is there any episode of Doctor Who that you didn't get to take part in that you would have liked to be in?
Yeah, I think don't blame because it's amazing. Master I love as well. I think they're super cool and like emotive episodes, and they I just think they're beautifully told. Yeah, so it's in there. Thank you. Look at you. Yeah, you look great. Thank God.
My question is, what is your favorite memory from Doctor Who and your funniest one, and can you sing one of your songs for us?
That's effectively three things. Okay, what's my, let me ask this one. Just because I'm worried how many people there are. I would say my hang on, what was the first question? Huh? Oh, favourite memory. Okay, my favourite memory was probably when we shot Doomsday. And we were on the beach together because, I don't know, that was just like the most fun acting memory. It felt like therapy in a way. Just both of us there saying goodbye to each other in a dramatic way, but actually I think sort of in a very honest way, when they sort of happened to be there, the cameras. It was like sort of nothing I ever really experienced since as an experience. So I'd say that I can remember every single piece of that day. And it came in the middle of our shoot, so that was a bit weird. And it sort of got us emotionally ready to say goodbye right at the end, when we dealt with it at that point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, look at you. You're not boiling.
So, if you had your own TARDIS, what time period or place would you like to travel to?
I always say this, and it's borderline inappropriate and sentimental. Yeah! when I was a kid and sort of see me and my siblings and my parents as a young family, and possibly even see them before they had us and see what that was like. And it's trying to remember that time, well, not remember it, visit that time. I think that would be such a gift. Or awful. Depending on how they were behaving. But so either way, I think I know it's kind of, you know, if you know that everything's happened that seems like it's still most trouble, most of times trouble to you, but I'd say that that's where I go immediately. Thank you.
Oh my God. Hi, this is so exciting.
Yeah! How are you?
I'm good. I was wondering, who was your favorite actor to work with when you were filming Doctor Who?
Oh my God. How do you do these things? How do you love these questions?
Someone already stole my question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, David, I guess. David. I think, well, because he was my doctor, and we just had such a laugh together. We really did. And I would say him. But then I love Camille, my mum. I mean, she felt like my real mother. My mum hates that story. Not real mum. She hates that story. But she reminded me of my mum, really. They both love cigarettes. Anyway, yeah, say those guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never probably the beginning that hurt the most with it.
Crying the most of it.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's right. So what I wanted to know was there a method or something that you kept in mind when you came back at the moment? Because when I went back to watch it, and we watched Rose versus Norman, in the moment there's a familiarity in the one towards Rose, but it's still somebody else.
Yeah.
Was there something that you did or kept in mind when portraying the moment?
You mean like memories of Rose?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. But then I think the fact that I was doing the moment meant that there was scope to do something sort of wildly different. And I just remember finding it quite hard to hold it together whilst we shot that, because it was the most sort of bizarre experience watching three sort of doctors sort of go for it in front of you. And I was just trying to hold it together. I wasn't really putting on many things, but just going back, it's such a fun experience. So it sort of gives you all of that life and those memories immediately, and all the people involved. But I just sort of enjoyed doing something new, especially as I was returning again. It was something. It was a relief, actually.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Welcome to Phoenix.
Thank you. I'm very much enjoying myself, especially that crazy heat out there. It's more than very hot.
That's why we say air conditioning.
Yeah.
First off, I want to say thank you for helping to reintroduce our food and to help connect generations from our generation to the next child's generation.
Yeah.
It's really been a fun trip for us.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask, how was your role as Rose Tyler? How has that impacted your career now as an actress?
Oh, hugely, yeah. It's sort of opened all my acting doors really, because it was like my first big job. And it was became such a family favourite that it meant that I could, audition for all sorts of things, and yeah, but it's and also just sort of all the fans and stuff. It's like it continues. it's beyond anything else, and that's really having my acting. It's also sort of prepared me to, for that level of tension, which actually I haven't really had since then, but I think it was a good beginning with the acting. Because, once you know something like that, there's nothing to be afraid of, in terms of fandom. Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for coming down here and seeing us as IPT.
And I'm just to make it delighted with you. I'm so happy about it. I'm sad that we're all in here. We could have done this outside. You would have made it, I'm sure. So check your outfits. You would
But I would really love to know what the most amazing experience you've had as actresses.
Well, there's so many things. I remember when Doctor Who first came out, I remember sat in my hotel room the night after we screened it. And I remember going, trying to finish myself going, this is actually happening, this is so cool, it shows everyone's responding so well to it, and I can't believe I'm finally acting. And I found my best friend's out in America, and we talked about it, and it was just so huge. Such a, one of those moments. And then being on stage, every moment on stage, I absolutely love, and I feel totally alive, and I'm just, it's such a gift as a job, yeah. So, those things,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello, sweetie.
I'm actually a theatre teacher, and
And where are you from?
Tucson, Arizona. So, I actually was asking, what actors have challenged you most as an actress? And what advice would you give to young actors out there who want to do acting, as far as such a young age, it's a lot more challenging?
Yeah. I would say see as much theatre as you can. I think that's the best way to learn. Experience a lot of life before you throw yourself into auditioning and rejection and, people kind of judging you on your appearance. And one of those things that is hard to expose to as a young person and can be really detrimental to your future, and your mental well-being. Don't rush into it, which is rich for me to say. So I'm telling you because I think it's sort of no urgency. You should just enjoy your life and live a colourful life, because that's where you get all of your experiences. And then do dance classes, bizarrely. Because I think it's good to in your body. I think even if you're rubbish at it, there's something like calming about it, and it's good if you want to have.
Check out her husband's friend, it's awesome.
I will. Thank you.
Well, I actually have two. The first one is, if you had a chance to go back and do Rose or Roll in Rose. So, would you have done it? Would you do it again? Would you have done anything different?
If I had a chance to go back.
And do it again. Would you? Would you do it different?
It's not really gross if I say no.
That is-
Didn't sound like really pleased with myself. No, I wouldn't. I can't. I don't know what I'd do differently. I think at the time, all the sort of stars aligned with that, and everything, Rose basically sort of happened for a reason. It came about in that way. I was portraying a modern woman, and all of those things sort of my doctor, you know, and I got more of an opportunity to do it. You've just done it way more, so you sort of perfected it. And in the end, it was fine. Thank you, Mum. Yeah, hello. Hi. Yeah.
How does it feel working with baby Teddy?
It feels great. So great. Yeah, he's amazing. He's a really good guy and he's a really good actor. It's kind of exhausting because he sort of operates at like a crazy speed. But that sort of works with doctors. So I really can't say there's anything. I can't criticise him at all. Annoyingly. Loved it. Thank you, darling.
Hello.
Well, hello.
One of my favorite songs that you've done, that you've been singing for a day now.
Oh, that's nice.
Do you have any embarrassing or fun stories you want to tell?
From when?
For when you were doing your singing career?
Hundreds.
Your most favorite?
My trousers came down when the children in need once. It's live, and it's a charitable show. And it's like 4 in the morning, and they just came out the scenes. It wasn't a lot going on with me. It was shocking. And I did what was worse, I was like, I didn't even realise. I just kept going. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Rose Tyler is my favorite companion. And my question is, what was your reaction to being casted as Rose Tyler in Doctor Who?
I think I ran around the garden and screamed a bit. And then the fear set in of, oh my god, that you will bring back a huge show, all the fans going to sing, all this is flop, you know, it was joy and then, you know, deep fear. And then joy again. But yeah, I was describing myself. And I was about to look at Mr. Epstein, he was like this amazing actor that I really admire. And Russell T Davies, he was he's just such a beautiful man. And I've never had a more beautiful audition in my life than when he was there with Judy Garner and stuff. So, those guys, I was delighted, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you for having me.
So I was curious, when you were called back to do the 50th, did you know that you were going to be playing the Golden Rose? And I know you said you were excited about it. How did you feel at the beginning when you realized that you weren't going to be playing Rose?
Oh, I was happy. So I was like, well, first of all, I didn't know that I was coming back at all, and I knew the 50th was going on, and I called David and I was like, are we going back? Are they going to call us? Because this is sad. And then Stephen Moffat called me like a week later and said, yeah, you're coming back, but it's sort of not Rose as you know her, it's going to be something, it's going to be a bit of a departure. And I was happy. So I sort of thought, I've been back. It's all this time with David all the time. And it'd be nice to do something a bit unhinged. So I was really thrilled. Thank you.
Hi,
Hey.
I'm going to shift gears a little bit because I know you work on Penny Triple. Fantastic. Can I have two questions? One, what made you take the role of Billie? And secondly, like, how is it working with so much blood on the show?
Well, I did it was as simple as I read the first script. I loved the script. I didn't know where the character was going, but apparently it's going somewhere. And I thought, I'll go put myself on tape for it, and I did, and then I met John Logan because he liked my tape, and he told me what was about to happen, and I was just like, done, with so. What a gift to be playing the Bride of Frankenstein in various other parts. So yeah, that was cool, and then, yeah, I hate doing the blood stuff if I'm honest, because it's super sticky, really unnatural. It sort of prepares you mentally for something really traumatic, even though it's clearly not real. When you see it, your brain tells you to sort of freak out, basically. So yeah, I think it's sort of effective in that way. But mostly I just hate the mess. Just hate the mess. I hate how much preparation goes into it. I hate how we can't talk to anyone or touch anyone afterwards. Not that you want to, no one would want to touch me after that. And everything suits you, so everything you walk past, chairs, cups, everything just suits you. It's deeply sticky. But it looks great, yeah, you love it. You love it. Yeah. Thank you. Hello. Yeah!
But I felt the moment was when we weren't going to get to see Rose in the med crisis after, and now you were going to be farewell.
I know, everyone wants that, don't they?
Yeah.
Everyone wants that version.
How would you feel about like a spin-off or even just a special where we get to kind of visit them?
I really like it. I personally would like to see where that's gone. I really love the idea of them sort of hating each other. Like, I really like War of the Roses style marriage. You know? I mean, it would just be funny, and I think we should do something like a funny one-off, and that would be great. Which would end with her getting back with the original guy, I think. The divorcing him and going back with the original. Thank you. Hello.
I was wondering, who do you think that was harder for the doctor to go out there for the doctor to I don't know, like, who do you think was like maybe more sad, like your when you left or Jennifer when you left?
Can I be really honest?
Yes.
I haven't seen that relationship. Wow. Sorry. So I haven't seen how that pans out. I'm sure it's really upsetting. Isn't it? Oh no. Why?
There's a raven that goes in her.
A what?
A raven or
Please. Well, with that in mind, no, I'm still going to say it's sadder when I left. I haven't seen her ending, and now I will watch that, and I love her. Just to be fair, I love her. And she's amazing. Hello.
Hello. I absolutely love you. You're awesome and everything.
Thank you.
And I was wondering if you have snagged any really cool souvenir props from filming out here.
Yes. So loads of things, so many times. They used to have on like the central console that you would do it. It's just a I see any of those. No, they're on those. They're on those. You're going to get out of the building. Thank you.
When you finished the first episode of the coming back and everything,
Yeah.
which was Rose,
Yeah.
how did you feel the show was going to take you there? Like, what direction did you think it was going to go?
When I finished.
Yeah, when you finished the first episode.
And when I finished the first episode of the first series, first ep, because I sort of, at the beginning I read quite a few of the scripts, so I sort of knew exactly what was happening. But after the first series, I didn't know, and I was nervous. I was really nervous because this new guy was coming on, and I didn't know what that was going to be like. I had a really good instinct about it, but I had no idea, and I was super pleased with the outcome. Yeah. Thank you.
If you were able to take a sonic screwdriver, what would you want to do with it, or what's your favorite function of it?
Well now, I would give it straight to my children. I'm really cool about giving them a genuine sonic screwdriver, you know. I got one from a fan a couple of weeks ago, and it had a pink glow on the end, and it was quite girly, and I shared that with my son, and you know, he had to get into the "yeah, but it's for girls" conversation at school. So to be able to give him something cool, boyish, and genuine would be a gift, and yeah, I'd give it straight to those guys, and then they could take it into their imaginary world, you know. Thank you.
So I have a question. So on set of Dr. Who, what was the funniest joke that you or maybe somebody else had
How
said
different would it have been with 11 and 12 if Rose had stayed? And then would she ever do the Big Finish audience with David Tennant?
Say, do you have an idea?
Really didn't have that level of jazzy banter.
What do you think?
We'd always do knock-knock jokes
relationship would have been
when anyone was feeling a bit tired.
11 or 12.
And but even that
What do you think your
wasn't
relationship would have been
towards the
like
end.
with 11 or 12?
So what do you
The
think would have been
your
your relationship would have been like?
Repeat your question, please, so maybe I understand.
How different would it have been if you had stayed with 11 or 12?
Okay, how would your relationship have been different if you had stayed?
Oh, we just met.
That's
And I just want to say, again, you're a phenomenal actress. All my friends love you, including me.
Great.
I'm a pretty big fan of Henry Dreadful.
Oh, good.
I think that would be a fantastic role. I want to know what you think about it. What's your favorite episode? And how hard was that one?
I'd say that my favourite episode was, I think it was number 8 of last year when I,
Number 8?
yeah, when I confront the creature and I show him my real self, and then I like beat the crap out of him.
That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I really liked that episode a lot because it was like finally every episode before had been building to this climax, and it was like a relief just to get it off my chest and stop pretending to be so bloody sweet and saccharine, you know. So it was good. It was good in that sense, and also it was so well written that it was like I couldn't believe it. And also working with Rory is like the best we have. So it was that was great. But there's some other stuff coming up in this series which I really enjoyed too, and I'm excited for you to see that.
I'm excited to see it too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to break in here real quick.
Yeah.
Miss Piper has graciously agreed to stay a few extra minutes. So we have time for probably about 5 or 6 more questions from each mic. But before we get to that, I want to make sure I let everybody know that Billie will be signing autographs downstairs. You can start to line up at 1:30. And then at 3 p.m., she has a wonderful group photo op with Dan Starkey and Neve McIntosh. So don't miss any of those. So if you don't get to ask a question, feel free to at least get an autograph or a photo op. And I'm sure Ms. Piper will be happy to meet you.
Yes, I will.
Okay, now we're back over here.
Hi.
Hello, I'll see you with the signing thing, so.
Okay.
What I was wondering is, when you were working with Davies and you initially got the script, what were some of the characteristics you yourself brought onto Rose that Davies hadn't initially thought of?
Well, I don't know. He laid it down pretty tight. I'd say that, I suppose I wasn't that far from out of being a teenager myself. So I suppose that sort of spiky teenage energy was something that I had tried to remember and bring into the character. I don't know whether he planned that, but that was something that I wanted to add. But to be honest, he pretty much done the legwork. So maybe that she was, in a way, I think she's quite a hopeless romantic, Rose. And even though she doesn't sort of display it in a dramatic sense, there's something kind of romantic about her and her visions. And, she's like full throttle. She's front-footed for a young woman. It's like just getting into this box and travelling around with this old dude, She's not shy. And I think that's something I possess myself. So hopefully those things.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Yay.
How would the relationship have been different with 11 or 12, and then would you ever do the Big Finish audio?
I keep being asked about this Big Finish audio, and I feel like I need to just deal with this. Yes, I would. And then, it's hard to tell how the relationship would have developed. Probably would have come out of that romantic zone and maybe been more of a sort of a perfect working partnership, platonic partnership. I don't know, if I got to work with Matt, I don't know what that would be like. I've worked with him before, and he's a dear friend of mine, but working with him as the Doctor, that would probably be, I hope we'd be a good comedy duo, us two together. We have a shorthand, so that would be great. Thank you. Hello.
I was wondering, all the characters that you played before, which one do you think is most hard to do, or do you put most of them?
Probably Rose. Yeah, I really feel like Rose is not that far from what I was at that age. There's so many similarities in the relationship with my mother, feeling frustrated as a teenager and wanting to do wild things and not wanting to just be at home in my room and, sort of living an ordinary life. I was really aspirational, and I think that she is too. As in, I aspired to be, sort of blowing up and trotting around the same, and she has that too. So yeah, I'd say the most of all of them perfect. Thank God, because if I was anything like Belle de Jour or Lily, I don't know, it'd be pretty bad.
Thank you for just coming down. I think I'm getting to see you on my birthday especially.
Is it your birthday? Oh, say happy birthday.
Alonzi.
Hello.
Hi, how do you feel that Rose thought, instead of turning up with the original Doctor in that one episode when the Doctor only had one heart?
think she took it pretty well, considering what was put before her. I always feel like there would have been a tinge of disappointment, possibly. And I think that's more interesting than, oh yeah, sure, I'll go with you then, I guess, you know. So that's what I think. But then I could be projecting. That could be about Billie projecting onto Rose. What do you feel? What do you think will she feel?
I never actually thought
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so you mentioned something about getting. I'm actually having trouble finding words.
It's really stressful, you know.
Which is unusual for me.
Yes.
So you played Rose. The things I've seen you play as Rose. I've seen you in a couple of movies, but the ones that stick out to me are Rose, Belle, and Lily.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first watched Dreadful first came on, and you were playing the first aspect of that character. I remember looking at myself for that. Is that Bill?
Right.
And I've just been so amazed with the range that you've shown. How did you find those aspects of Lily and bring them out in the manner that you did? Because you're delightfully disturbing.
No, I love it. So great. Yeah, I think well, it would be really telling if I told you the sort of stuff I draw on. You'd be alarmed. What can I say? I don't know. I think again, the good thing about having a really incredible writer is that most of the legwork is done, and then I really I watched a few films like Betty Blue. Did you ever see that? That French art house movie about this crazy girl who's really insatiable and totally gorgeous and fun and stuff, but absolutely unhinged. And I remember watching a bit of that. And things like She Devil and, you know. And also, I'm surrounded by women who have their moments. So, you know, there's a large part of normality that I pulled on, or rather worryingly. Yeah, so, also, if someone's given you a bit of writing and it's unlike anything you've ever seen, and it's unlike anything you played, you just sort of go for it. Right, you're wrongly, and so a lot of it was just about what was going on in that moment as well.
Thank you. I think you're wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Hi. So I want to know what your favorite episode and your least favorite episode of Doctor Who was to film. The film aspect.
My least favourite.
And your favorite.
My favourite were Tooth and Claw and Father's Day. My least favourite is anything with Daleks and Cybermen. I just can't deal with that. They're so cumbersome, they take so much time, there's always an issue, they really pull focus. You know, there's just a lot of things having to come together at once, and I suppose my least, I can't remember which episode it was, but it was when I'm in the waitress outfit, you know, and there's just like crazy amounts of Cybermen everywhere, and it was like 5 in the morning shooting whales ice cold in that tiny dress. They couldn't get it together, they couldn't walk in unison, everything was driving me mad. So anything with those guys is my least favourite episode. Sorry, because I know you got a lot.
All right, this will be the last
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
Hi.
Great outfit.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I'm forgetting how to breathe.
Don't worry.
If there was one thing else that you could have experienced on the set of Doctor Who with David Tennant or any other doctor or any other set member, really, what would it have been?
If there was anything I could have experienced. Oh gosh, it's quite a question. Gosh. I mean, you know, maybe if they brought back, if it were possible to have brought back some of the older doctors, that would have been, even if they were like holograms, or just something weird, like having those old guys there and everyone sort of working together, because it was a real taste of doing the 50th. That was just like, wow, this is awesome. This is like watching a moment, you know, in history. And so if there was a chance that we could have had, you know, a lot of the other guys, that would have been so cool.
Thank you so much.
And just watching them compete, you know, who would be the best doctor. I really enjoy that.
Thank you.
Thank you.